They laughed at her limp, until her scream split the parade ground, and the wrong people heard it. By the time the dust settled, every cadet understood how close arrogance comes to ruin. The confrontation ignited under a hard, bright morning sun at a coastal training base where white paint glared and flags snapped in the breeze. Cadets clustered near the obstacle lanes, voices sharp with youth and certainty. In their center stood Staff Sergeant Alana Brooks, a black woman with a cane tucked against her thigh, her prosthetic hidden beneath crisp fatigues. She had come to file paperwork. She had not come to be a lesson. The mocking started small, a snicker, a whisper about broken soldiers. Then louder. One cadet mimicked her gait. Another asked, smiling if she'd lost her nerve with the leg. Alana felt heat crawl up her neck. She told herself to keep walking. She told herself the sun would pass, like all things. It didn't. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. A shove clipped her shoulder. The cane skittered. Alana stumbled, pain flashing white-hot where metal met bone. Her scream tore out of her before pride could stop it. It wasn't theatrical. It was raw. The sound carried across concrete and open water, riding the wind like a flare. She had sworn she'd never scream again, not after the day an IED turned a convoy into smoke and silence, not after she dragged two teammates to cover with shrapnel biting her calf. She remembered the smell of dust and diesel, the way time bent. She remembered choosing to stand again. The cadets didn't know any of that. They only knew they had crossed a line they couldn't see. Windows opened. Instructors paused mid-brief. The air changed, tight as a drawn wire. A coffee cup trembled on a bench nearby. Alana steadied herself, breath shallow, jaw set. She wondered briefly if reporting it would make things worse. She wondered if silence was safer. She was wrong. From the far end of the yard, two men stopped walking at the same time. They were older, fit, sun-creased, wearing plain caps pulled low. Their strides matched without effort. They moved like water finding a path. Someone murmured. Someone else recognized the posture and went very still. They didn't raise their voices. They didn't need to. One cadet laughed again, too late, and the laughter died as the men closed in. Tools came out not as threats, but as order. Radios clipped free, gloves pulled on, commands passed in murmurs that synchronized like clockwork. Instructors assembled as if summoned by gravity. The yard filled, not with chaos, but with control. Alana felt a hand near her elbow, steady and respectful. "You're safe," a voice said. She hadn't heard that in a long time. She blinked against the glare. The men asked for names, units, times. Each answer landed like a weight. The cadets' confidence drained away, replaced by the knowledge that eyes were finally open. Neighbors along the fence leaned forward. A groundskeeper stopped mowing. Phones stayed down. Something about the moment demanded witnesses, not recordings. When the men finally spoke to Alana directly, their tone softened. They knew the limp. They knew the cost. They knew her unit's name before she said it. Later, the base would buzz with labels. 2 SEAL generals, people would say, shorthand for authority and consequence. What mattered was what followed. Cadets pulled from the program pending review, mandatory instruction rewritten, apologies that shook as they were spoken. What mattered was Alana standing in full daylight, cane firm, shoulders square, refusing to disappear. She thought she'd never see justice wear a human face. She was wrong. The sun stayed high as she left the yard, the ocean bright beyond the gates. Pain lingered, but it no longer owned the moment. Courage had witnesses now. Kindness had muscle. Because respect isn't granted by rank, it's revealed by character. And the scream that split the morning became the sound of a door opening. If this story moved you, share where you're listening from, and what courage means to you today. Subscribe for more stories where quiet strength meets the light and finds its way home.